Welcome back to another TurboGrafx review. Today we're going to cover Legendary Axe 2. Though this 1990 release is a sequel to the Legendary Axe, the plot and theme of this game are unrelated to its predecessor. Taken from the instruction manual, the story involves brothers Prince Sirius and Prince Zack dueling for the right to ascend to the throne that was left vacant due to the death of their father. Prince Sirius loses the battle and Prince Zack takes control of the kingdom, which falls into a state of evil. Down but not out, Prince Sirius sets out to find his brother to claim the throne and restore peace. Right away, you'll notice that your main weapon is a sword despite the name of the title. You can change between two additional weapons by picking up weapon icons that are left behind from defeated enemies. They will leave behind other items as well, like health increases and restoration, bombs, and extra lives. Going back to the weapons, the sword is the most balanced of the three when it comes to attack strength, range, and speed. The chain and sickle has great attack range and speed, plus you can attack diagonally, but it is the weakest weapon. Finally, you do wield an axe after all, otherwise this title wouldn't make any sense. The axe is the most powerful of the three weapons, but it has the shortest range and slowest attack speed. When I play, I try to stick to the axe once I get it. Picking up a weapon icon also increases your attack strength by 1 unit up to a maximum of 5. In addition to your primary weapon, a sub-weapon can be used to annihilate your foes. Magic bombs are thrown and will cause the screen to flash upon contact with an object, damaging all enemies on screen. You can carry a maximum of 10 magic bombs. Here is some additional combat info that comes in handy. There is a way to inflict additional damage to enemies. If you're in the air long enough when you jump, your weapon begins to glow and deals out extra damage if you strike an enemy. It is possible to jump on enemies to defeat them, which is unusual for this genre but is highly effective. The penalties for losing a life in this game are more severe than the previous title. Aside from restarting from a checkpoint, your weapon will return to the sword, downgraded to its lowest level, plus you will lose 1 unit of health. The number of health units will not drop below 5. The stages, enemies, and bosses in this game are a bizarre bunch. They combine medieval themes with a mix of futuristic technology along with other elements. You battle through underground caves fighting slime, giant flies, and cockroaches. There's a temple where you fight skeleton dragons whose limbs burst through the walls, skeleton knights, and mass claw-wielding enemies that have an assortment of attacks which you'll encounter throughout the game. In the worm caves, you have giant worms that crawl along the ceiling that drop onto you. There's a maze-like palace where you fight an assortment of robots. There are areas in this game that require vertical ascension, often with platform blocks that will fall if you walk on them, so watch your step. Two major differences in this sequel are that there are no pits to fall into, and you must complete each stage within a specific time limit. Apart from the final stage, the amount of time given to clear a level is more than enough, so you should not worry about this too much. The bosses range from mechanical creatures to a monster that resembles Globulus from G.I. Joe the movie, and to what appears to be a little girl that flies around and multiplies when you attack it. When a boss is defeated, you'll be treated to a lengthy explosion effect, which I enjoy, along with Prince Sirius doing a victory pose, underwear and all, and you will receive bonus points for your remaining time and health. I received both Legendary Axe games at the same time back in 1991, so I will judge this game both on its own merit and in comparison to the Legendary Axe. While Legendary Axe 2 went with a dark visual approach, it fits the plot of this game well and takes advantage of the color palette with extensive use of shading in the platforms and character sprites to give them depth, with the most impressive being the final boss. I remember seeing a clip of the last boss in a commercial before I got this game and I was blown away. This, of course, was during the days when large sprites were all the rage in video game advertising. The expanded options for weaponry gives the combat more variety. This game has great music with the mood of each track changing based on the level, and I love the sound effects, especially the explosions and when you attack a metallic enemy. I also like the size of the stages, and they feature a nice mix of horizontal and vertical scrolling sections. The later stages add some obstacles like lightning rods and magnetic fields. The ending provided a twist which I had hoped would have led to another sequel, but that did not happen. Oh well. As for the drawbacks, I noticed that the background scenery in some levels don't change much. In certain areas, you may need to backtrack a bit to avoid grabbing a weapon you don't want, since the icons do not disappear while they are visible on screen. I find Legendary Axe 2 not as challenging as Part 1, and here are 3 reasons why. First, there are no pits to fall into. While you do get knocked back when you take a hit, you never have to worry about falling down a hole. Worst case scenarios, you get knocked off a ledge and fall to the bottom in areas where you must climb up. Second, all enemy attacks inflict just 1 unit of damage. Third, extra lives are earned more frequently compared to Part 1. Of course, this game is not a walk in the park either, even though I have completed this game far more times than Part 1, sometimes without losing a life. The last 3 stages will give you trouble. While the Legendary Axe gets most of the praise, don't sleep on the sequel. This is an enjoyable adventure game that has given me great memories and is worth getting for your collection. I hope you enjoyed this review, and as always, thanks for watching.